Or even the personal toilets are just getting, encrusted.
I don't know if he being a master political technician, or is he kind of just paranoid and saying stuff.
People like in the mids and the down deep are like, tape? What?
But I guess you can brighten up the place with an open fire. He could lean into this and make it a good thing. Today we watched Silo, season 2, episode 2. This is what happened this episode.
Yeah, so first thing that happens is Sims gives his intimidating statement, to Billings.
Aggressive intimidation. Mary, head of judicial, quits drinking alcohol.
Hey, good for her.
Good for her.
And Bernard gives his big old speech to the silo explaining his tape tactics and that Juliet is over the hill.
Mm-hmm. Those tape tactics, Mary wants a piece of it. She wants that tape. She's going to escape.
She wants that tape. She wants to get out of here. And then at the end, we see Martha and Shirley and the plucky rebels trying to do their thing, trying to escape or get the truth, or we're not sure.
We're not sure. It's still hard to tell with her.
Still hard to tell with her. What do you think of today's episode 2?
I think there was that super cool graffiti, Juliet Lives, and that came together all of a sudden. That's some excellent branding.
Oh, yeah, that's true. Oh, yeah, this. What the heck?
Like aesthetically pleasing, easy to draw, quick, high contrast to the dirty silo.
Do they have graphic designers in the silo?
That's right.
We need not only graphic designers being employed by the government, but being employed by the rebels, double dealing.
Oh,
what the heck?
In war, one team profits from everyone. It's the graphic designers.
Graphic designers, big graphic designers.
Go to college for graphic design. I thought the episode was a 5 out of 10.
Oh,
it's a little bit slow, a little bit, but it's all right. It's the second episode of the season. It's setting up political moves for the future. It's setting up the tension. Stuff's going to go down in the future. Martha's super cool. Unexpected, because she's like this old crotchety lady, but actually she's super wise and knows some political stuff has happened down in the past, and she's guiding people through, or maybe she's beat up and sad. I don't know. It's hard to tell. She's interesting.
Hard to tell.
I like this in the silo that there's a literal stratification of different qualities of life, and then the different personalities that suit in there and that fall into place in that stratification of society, and it feels right. I feel like these personalities could be real, and this is how they would react. The down part of that is that Bernard and Sims feel kind of hollow. They feel kind of just evil. I would really like it if we could see things from Bernard and Sims' perspective, and it really felt like they really are believing that they are doing the right thing. They really are thinking that they're the good people, and that they're just maintaining order for the goodness of society. It comes off a little heavy, a little bit like they're just bad. They're just too evil. We'll see how they develop.
Sure.
What did you think about this episode?
I give this episode a 4 out of 10.
Ooh, harsher.
I like Silo when we're doing the exploring with Juliet, even though she's frustrating. I prefer the exploring over the politics, because sometimes the politics of the silo don't always make much sense to me. I'm trying to fill in blanks. It's tough for me.
Yep.
Shirley was annoying with her rah, rebel.
Gonna get caught.
Bernard and Sims kind of need to just get going. They need to go. I feel like this is kind of a holding pattern episode a little bit. To me, Martha is the most interesting character. What happened in her past? What did she see? Is she helping the rebels? What's going on here? She's old and wise. So I just generally liked exploring the abandoned silo with Juliet more. So I kind of enjoyed it, but still 4 out of 10 for me. All right, let's get into it.
At the beginning of the episode, we see this book. It's The Order, and we see Bernard reading from it. And it really gave me this feeling what if big housekeeping ran society, took control, in the event of a failed cleaning, prepared for war, super uptight about their society, about how they see things. But joke aside, I didn't understand, why was it so important? Why is it so bad if someone does not clean?
Well, okay, first thing, if a public restroom in the silo wasn't cleaned for an extended period of time, whoo boy, that's time. So first off, biohazard. And since the down deep people are doing the cleaning, that is fighting.
Oh, that's a sign that they are not willing to do their part.
Right,
because
could
they're
be a strike.
The toilets.
Cleaning the toilets. So the public toilets, or even the personal toilets, are just getting, encrusted.
Oh, crusted.
Oh,
word choice. But yeah.
I mean, actually, that could be a form of rebellion. A janitor strike in the silo would be a serious concern.
I mean, health hazard, right? Because then people's apartments start getting bacteria and health hazard.
Right, and you got stuff to maintain, like machinery and stuff that needs to stay clean all the time. Otherwise, it's going to break down.
Squeaky clean.
Yeah, but this isn't your question. Your question is the cleaning on the outside,
Right.
on the lens.
Why is that so bad? What does that mean?
So bad? So I don't understand it. And the reason I don't understand it is if a person goes out there and sees that it's green,
Okay.
then they want to clean the lens to show everybody in the cafeteria that it's green outside. However, that person has seen the camera feed in the cafeteria for years, and they've seen it after post-cleaning, it's clear, and before cleaning, it's smudgy. But it's not like the cleaning was like, oh, I see a little bit of green poking through. No,
That's right.
It was just a smudgy desolation, and when after cleaning, it was a clear desolation.
Right.
So the only conclusion is it must be a doctored feed. So cleaning isn't going to help, right?
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Because if it was genuinely just smudgy lens, it wouldn't change the color of the landscape from dead stuff like gray and brown into green and full of life. Like, yeah, I don't get it. I don't get what they're thinking.
If you had a full like forest scene and you started smudging the lens in real life, it would be hard to smudge it in such a way that it looked like brown landscape with smudges. It'd be really hard.
You see like a bald eagle and you smudge it and like now it's a skeleton.
Now it's just you have like a green tree and you like just smudge the leaves, so now it's like a desolate dead tree. Like you're gonna have green poking through.
So if someone does not clean because they're like, what's the point? It's going to be the camera feed looks dirty and dead anyway. If they don't clean, why is that so bad? Like what is that? What's the big deal?
Yeah, so from the perspective of the people in the cafeteria, if a person doesn't clean, it's desolate outside. If a person does clean, it's now desolate outside, a little bit crisper.
Yeah, why is that going to lead to an uprising? I don't get it.
Right. It doesn't affect my view of what's going on outside. Either way. Yeah, I don't get it. I don't understand what. Is there something we're missing about cleaning? Let us know.
I don't get it. It would be different if the person that went outside was like, everything out here good, right? That's like a clear message of everyone should try to rush the door, get out here. But there's no sign that cleaning doesn't mean to the people inside the silo that it's good outside, come outside.
Right. I mean, I guess easy things to do would be create your own sign language with your friends. And you could be like, this means green, this means bad, this means I'm not sure, this means something, And you could come up with a sign language idea, and then you could communicate inward. But cleaning the lens?
How is that enough of a communication to be like, time to revolt? Like, I don't get it.
Yeah.
I don't get it.
Plus, somebody's going out there to die. They're like, I'm supposed to clean, but they're so like up in their head about dying that they forget. Like, they could just be absent-minded because they're in a high adrenaline mode.
Gosh, and people think that Juliet walked over the hill and that means that she's alive. But as far as they would all know, she went out there to die.
Right.
Like, what does it matter if she walked a little bit further away to die?
Right. I would conclude that she made it a little bit further than the other people, but is dead.
Right.
Because
it's not like she's doing burpees out there. Like she just disappeared.
If now she came back up over the hill.
Little teaser, like, hey, I'm still here. Like, hey, what's up?
Hey,
like,
is that graffiti started yet?
Yeah. Weird.
Yeah, also, at the beginning of the episode, Sims gives a statement to the new Sheriff Billings. Mm-hmm. Gosh. He's just a one-trick pony with this intimidation tactics.
Are there any other parts of the pact Bernard plans on ignoring?
Paul, this is an emergency.
First off, that statement is telling Sims that Billings is thinking, like, something's not right here. Like, Bernard is ignoring the pact? Like, what are you guys up to?
Am I still supposed to write my report on Nichols' cleaning?
Of course.
I still haven't gotten your statement, Nichols saying she wanted to go out.
I got a form here, and it's got a section for you. Got a form. Paperwork, what are you going to do?
All right, here's my statement. Bernard believed Nichols was in violation of our relic laws. He led her to the cornfield to keep her arrest non-disruptive. Once he confronted her about the red level relic.
The red level relic is a Pez dispenser.
Yep. Super
Make
dangerous
it-
to society.
It's like a mountain out of a molehill. If somebody finds a Pez dispenser, like, this is trash.
Okay. I can't do
gonna be
anything
like-
with it. Like, whatever.
They're not gonna like pick up the Pez dispenser and be like, I must rebel. Like, no.
Yeah, if you found an arrowhead right now, you'd be like, oh, this is a cool relic from an old society. All right.
Actually, I would go start killing people.
That's
You know,
right. I would
possess
fill it with candy.
He later destroyed.
for the safety of the silo. Once he confronted her, which I observed, Nichols said she wanted to go out. As raiders came in to apprehend her, she ran. They chased her and caught her. End of statement. That do it?
One thing, if Nichols just said she wanted to go out, why did she run?
I don't know. She must have changed her mind.
So I think he should have said there, not changed her mind, but she should have said she was scared.
Why do you say that?
Because when somebody's scared, they're not always thinking straight. Maybe she took off, but like she said it, and now she's scared. She took off running. It's not contradictory. Whereas if he says she changed her mind, that plants the seed of like maybe she didn't want to go out. Maybe something more is there.
Because if she's scared, then Billings could be like, all right, yeah, I could see that. I could see someone be like, I'm going to kill myself, but then I'm now chickened out. I'm afraid, right? But if you instead say she changed her mind, now Billings thinks, what changed her mind? I should investigate.
Right. Especially considering that Billings at the beginning was like, is Bernard ignoring the pact? Like, I don't know where I stand here.
Yeah, and Sims needs to try other tactics. When he's only aggressive, people just expect it to become dull. He needs to sometimes go hard, sometimes go soft, mix it up. Also, he needs to check with Bernard. What is he doing in being in a rush here? Why not? So Billings is like, give me your statement. Why not? Sims says like, I'm busy right now. I'll come back to you. I'm going to give you a statement, but right now I got something I got to handle real urgent. And then you go off, disappear somewhere, talk with Billings, be like, this is the situation. What do we want to say? United front, get a clean story. Instead,
Yeah, I agree with that.
he shoots from the hip. He says this thing about changed their mind, which invites invitation.
That's right.
Mistake.
So he could easily make a mistake. In fact, he says a bald-faced lie in there, which is that he saw and heard Juliet say she wanted to go outside. Juliet never said that. That means that's a straight up 100% lie. If he had coordinated with Bernard, maybe he doesn't have to lie so directly. You know, you can couch statements and stuff, be like, that's not what I really said. If you parse my words, this is what I said. But now it's on the record.
Mistake.
But he's just like, I want to intimidate. I'm going to intimidate.
Aggression. I'm going to bully people around. Like,
Right.
you make mistakes when you bully people.
Right. And that works on like a regular citizen, but Billings has power.
Sheriff.
He has pull. Yeah, he's a sheriff. So, Sim's weakness, I think.
So here is Bernard talking with Mary about how his feelings about what he saw outside of the silo. But I don't know if he being a master political technician, or is he kind of just paranoid and saying stuff?
I'm not afraid of what I imagine. I'm afraid of what I saw. What she saw on the other side of that hill, thousands of bodies, an entire silo dead. It looked like the silo went to war with itself. That's what scares me, because if it happened there, it could happen here.
So what's wrong with that?
So he says, I'm not afraid of what I imagined. I'm afraid of what I saw. And then he lists 4 things that I don't think he could have seen these. So I think these are things that he imagined. So the first thing is that, he says, I'm afraid of what I saw. I'm afraid of what Juliet saw. Like, do you know what Juliet saw over the hill? So I think the only information that he has is the same information that everyone else in the silo has, which is in this next clip. It's how does Bernard know what's on the other side of the hill?
So you're talking about this clip here.
Yep.
With this is from season 1.
Season 1, episode 10, the last thing we saw in that season. So Juliet's walking over the hill.
Yep.
You get a little pan around. There's the camera underneath the crest of the hill. Here are the other silos. And I don't see any bodies.
So I just assumed that he could see what Juliet was seeing, but you're saying he could be making that up.
Right. I think so as if he doesn't see what Juliet's seeing, if he has the only information that everyone else has, that the only information that we've seen him to have. In fact, can we go to the next picture?
Oh, yep. This one?
So this is what everyone sees. Everyone in the cafeteria sees. They see it from that perspective of that one camera that's above ground, and you can't see over the hill.
False. Right
Okay.
there.
Yeah. Okay.
Right there. That is
Okay, okay.
that is over the hill.
Yeah. That is that. Okay. Okay. Okay.
Okay. Also,
You're right.
also, that's the
Okay,
second
yeah.
hill.
Okay,
So
yeah,
you
so
can't
that's
see over that
okay.
hill.
Okay, I see what you're saying.
Okay, so
I
get
see
your
what you-
facts
I see what
straight.
you. I see what you did. Okay, that could be a hill made of fully of just bodies. Okay, no, okay, you know what I'm saying. You can't see over the hill. You can see the
Right.
top of the tree from the other side of the hill. Yeah, okay, technically right. I said the thing that you said, but otherwise, this is the same information that Bernard has. And so you look one more picture. This
Yeah.
Bernard and Sims are in the cafeteria. They see what everyone else sees. So well, I guess Bernard like runs away. He runs away to IT, and we don't know what he's looking at. So maybe his information. But as far as I know, this is the only camera that's above ground, and so this is where he's getting all of his information. So he says that he saw what Juliet saw,
Yeah.
and there's thousands of bodies. You don't know that. He said it looked like the entire silo went to war to itself. Like you don't know what happened. Like it could have been some type of black mold or something. They're like, everyone get out. It could have been like a raiders attack, and then they went out to defend against it, and then that portion of the silo died, and everyone else closed the doors, and they're still thriving inside. They repopulate or whatever. Like I don't think Bernard knows these things, but he's saying the things that feel right for him because they are the situation that applies to him. So they're like on his mind. These are the things that he's afraid of, and then he just throws it out there as if it's fact. And
So I thought the stuff he mentioned was a little too specific,
Right.
meaning like I felt like he had to have a feed to Juliet's like vision.
I gotcha.
Because,
Okay.
because it was too specific what he was saying. Now he may have interpreted that through the lens of his own paranoia,
Okay.
but do we think the suit?
I don't see a GoPro. I don't see a helmet cam. Like, how is he getting information from what she saw?
Gosh, so first thing is this visor is super advanced, right? Because it's like an AR system. That's light
true.
is coming in from the outside, and then it's overlaying like the greenery on top of it. And so he needs to be able to look down and step and stuff like it's normal ground.
Right. And it's
So
not like a
it's-
fully transparent LCD screen because she can see through it sometimes.
Yeah,
It's like this transparent AR.
and it has no lag, so she doesn't get this kind of stuff going on.
That's right. So you're saying
You know?
you're saying that the information that she's seeing is not being transmitted from her suit to IT for processing and AR overlay and then sent
Right.
back, because that travel time would result in, if she turns her head, the image would slide like a little bit late.
Right.
And even if it's like 100 milliseconds, even tens of milliseconds, the human eye sees that like, why are things
Yeah.
why am I looking through soup? Like, what is going on here?
Right. So that means, okay, so not only is the advisor advanced, but there's computing on here.
That's right.
There's
Because
computing on here.
maybe in her backpack.
Maybe in her backpack, which means this suit is advanced. And in fact, we don't know when the apocalypse hit. So could they fit a camera on here somewhere that relays back to IT?
Okay,
think
even
so.
better. He might actually mean he sees what Juliet sees, because that helmet is close to her scalp. And so
Yeah.
whatever vision, whatever signal from the outside world that's going through her eye, landing on her retina, then transducing to the occipital lobe where vision is processed, it might actually just be straight up reading her brain. So he literally could
Oh.
mean, I'm afraid of what Juliet saw, because whatever is in her brain is transmitted to the suit, or it's absorbed by the suit somehow, and then that suit can send out, I guess, wirelessly, pretty slow data rate, just send it out to the IT department later. Yeah, that would be okay.
Right. Even if it was stills of what she saw, that would work.
Sure.
He could interpret it. So you're saying it could be some kind of camera on here that we don't see. It could also be like they're measuring her brain directly and converting that
Yeah.
into an image because it's super
Yep.
advanced.
Yep.
And yeah. So
Possible.
we don't know the tech going into that suit, and it could be super advanced. And so that information is, in fact, Bernard doesn't even necessarily know the capabilities of the suit because it's generations after they were manufactured.
Information lost
So-
in time.
He just knows if I go IT, press this button, I see stuff.
Yeah, he could be. And yeah, so he could be seeing. Yeah, he could be seeing actually what she's seeing. Although there's still speculation. There's still speculation because you see the neighboring silo with a bunch of dead bodies. You don't know why
Right.
they're dead. Like that's
Right.
He's filling in blanks for sure.
Right, so he sees a bunch of dead bodies in another silo, and he's interpreting what he sees through the eyes of what he's afraid of. That makes sense. We all do this to some degree.
Yeah,
We
so
see
I
an
guess
event
it's
and we take it, we
recency
process it
bias
through.
plus heuristics.
Yeah, and we also process it through our emotional centers, like what
That's
we're
true.
worried about, what our insecurities are,
That's very true.
whatever is on our mind at the time, if we're angry or not, we'll interpret events based on that. So that's actually, I guess, very realistic. Although he does use that's the truth.
Right. He shouldn't be certain, but he did get it right.
Right.
But he shouldn't be certain.
But if you
he got it
are
right.
trying to make a point to somebody to convince them, you're not going to be
Gotta
like, well, with a 70% probability.
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
Or like couch your
But
statement.
you should, but people don't.
It's like, it's most likely this, but it could be this other thing that's actually not a big deal. Like, that's not going to be convincing. So after that, I guess we're saying that he saw the footage, he decides this is his ploy. He needs to buy himself a few days. People are like all up in arms. He uses the tape. Interesting choice.
I asked Sheriff Nichols if we could seal her suit with a new kind of tape, a tape recently developed by our brilliant suit technicians. And she courageously agreed.
It's so weird. People like in the mids and the down deep are like, tape? What?
What are we talking about?
What are we even talking about? I thought she had a
There's
suit
tape
on.
involved in this? Okay.
Why is there tape?
Right.
Trip over that hill. Prove that our new tape provided better protection
Hell
against
yeah.
the dangers outside. And that is the first step forward in our lifetime.
So my question is this a good move to use the tape? 'Cause a lot of people probably didn't know about the tape.
Right. And now they are alerted to tape.
So is this a good move?
That's right. He could have just said that she has a better response to LD50, the lethal dose, 50% of the time.
Yeah.
Maybe for whatever reason, she's got great cardio, or I don't know, or maybe the poison gas out there just doesn't affect her as quickly. He could have gone with that, and then it's like a one-off, just her thing. Nobody else investigates.
Yeah, you could say I talked to the doctors, and they do say that it's not always, people don't always die at the 20-meter mark. Like some people can get further, some people die right away. So it's not always. It could be just she made it over the hills and she died. That's what the doctors tell me. And people are like, oh, that's not as exciting as I thought.
Instead, he gives like a definitive, this is the thing, and then people can say, okay, if that's the thing, then I want it too.
So I guess a mundane explanation could have been she brought in a doctor and been like, well, she made it over the hill, but she's still dead.
That's right. A mundane explanation is better than an extraordinary explanation, because a mundane explanation, people are like, oh, okay, sure, kind of no big deal, nothing special.
Yeah.
Gosh, are there other mundane explanations? He could have gone. Okay, he could have gone with the hill moved. The hill is now closer than it used to be.
Wait. But the hill. Okay, looking at this picture here.
Yep.
The hill is on the edge of the silo.
Yeah.
So it's not going to move, right?
The hill is ultimately just dirt, right?
Yeah.
And dirt, like sand, gets blown around. You've ever seen a sand dune move? You can travel.
That's true. But I mean, would people know that?
Wrong. I don't know. I mean, no, they wouldn't, because they live underground, right? And they've never experienced wind.
Maybe there are geologists and people studying the old sciences. And he's like, well, we're talking to the old science guys. Let's bring him in. And he's like, here's the PowerPoint presentation. We can say that the hill, 20 years ago was 45 meters, and here it's now 42 meters. And so people, and it's like, people are like,
Yeah. So mundane that people fall asleep and they're like, okay, hills move. Okay, whatever. I'm going back to work.
It's moving around a little bit.
Thanks for this half day of work. I'm going to go to sleep now.
Why did we have? Yeah, what are we doing? Why do we have a full meeting in the South? I don't need this. I got stuff to do. What time is it?
I thought it would have been clever if he gives them hopes that people want to leave, and then you sabotage that expedition crew, and then that way you've given people a hope, you've given people a chance, you get everyone to settle down for several months. You can really draw it out. can really draw it out when people are like, we're training people, we're getting everyone coordinated, we're going to try to explore the outside world again. But actually, you send a saboteur in there that's willing to die and kill everyone. And then when the expedition team doesn't report back in like a month, 2 months, 3 months, you declare this was a mistake, this was dangerous, we were not ready for this. Let's focus in on life that we've maintained for however long the silos have been around.
Yeah, so that's like, instead of the mundane explanation, you now go for the go for broke explanation, which is, we're going to turn it into, she made it over the hill, we may have hope. And then because we have hope, we're going to send an expedition and see what else is out there. And then sabotage. And then we need to turn into the silo. And that consolidates power with Bernard.
He can still do that because he's given them hope with the tape. He could just, and not only did you get people outside and you get them killed and then everyone else stays inside the silo, you can be purposeful with it. You select people that want to go outside. These are the people that are going to be dissonants anyway. And so you can get rid of them and then you've cleaned up your problem at home.
Okay, there you go. So I think this is not an optimal explanation. And I think he was under time constraints to come up with this. But you're saying he could pivot real quick.
Oh, yeah.
As he thinks about it for the next few days, he's like, okay, I could do that and, turn it into actually a power consolidation. Okay, we'll see where he goes with that. This was weird. Down in the down deep, there's this maintenance place that's super dark for some reason.
Yeah, you're trying to work with like power tools or what is it? Okay. First, I guess, what is this room? So I saw on the left side.
Okay. Oh, this thing?
Yeah, this thing looks like the table on a mill. Right? You get these handles and even a power feed right there, and you get like this mill on top that's spinning out at whatever many 1,000 RPMs, and it cuts metal. So I thought this was a machine shop.
In fact, now that I'm looking at it, this person is working, looks like maybe on a lathe or something. I see a little handle for...
handles. Yep.
So this is a machine shop. This guy's also working. Don't know how he can see a damn thing. Oh my God, he's got goggles on too. Oh, what is that? Is that a lathe? What is this?
I can't tell.
Can't tell. But there's...
It's got that... Oh, that is a lathe. Yes, that's the cross slide right there.
Yeah. So this is a machine shop. Plus... awkwardly doing design in the middle of the machine shop with this lamp that's just dim as hell.
Yeah.
Dang.
But I guess you can brighten up the place with an open fire.
It's behind the drafting table. So when you look at the drafting table, your eyes are like...
straight up shadows. But maybe this is their foundry, on their micro foundry, like micro brewing, but for metal melting.
I mean, it stands to reason. They've got a lot of machinery that's going to be breaking down fairly often, and they're going to need to do custom repairs with parts that are breaking down, drill new holes, and make new devices.
Make a new sheet of metal, yeah.
So they need to do design, and then they need to make those custom parts. Weird that they don't have a drafting room and a machine shop room, because if this guy gets up and is like, oop, bump into him, that's no good.
Dangerous, sharp stuff all over the place.
Also... this needs to be lit. I mean, they need to figure out some lighting situation. This is insane.
Yeah. Try working a power saw in the dark.
It's terrible. Try designing something new.
How many tries do you get on that?
Try designing something new on a drafting board that you can't see.
Like you take it outside to the hallway to the light, and you're like, oh, I've drawn things on top of each other.
Like, what have I done?
What is this?
Yeah, this guy's hand slips in the dark. This guy can't design anything. Weird. And then, what side is Martha on?
Hard to tell.
So she is from the down deep, but she's seen some stuff. And she may have been part of a rebellion. So as Shirley and her plucky rebels are trying to do things, is she trying to help them or is she trying to hurt them?
Trying to shut them down.
Right.
What are you doing here, Cooper?
Knox told me to follow you.
Fucking spy, Coop? I figured as much. Go tell him what you saw.
This guy accused this guy, I can't remember their names, of being a spy. But it was Knox. He's the leader of the Down Deep. So it's like they're saying Knox is on the other team now, fully.
Yeah, I mean, he has been showing that he's on the side of the sheriff and trying to squelch the complaining.
He certainly tried to squelch the complaining. But are they saying he's fully on board with the uppers?
I think from their perspective, yeah.
Yes, that's kind of an all or nothing thinking right there.
Yeah.
we talked about, he can't stop us.
I'm gonna tell him you were home by curfew. All of you were.
Why would you do that?
Because I was Juliet's shadow. It was just us two in the generator room when everything was going to shit. We'd be dead if it hadn't been for her. So I'm not here for Knox. I'm here for Juliet. And whatever you guys are doing, I want in.
Loyalty, baby.
I mean, Knox chose the wrong person. What are you doing, Knox?
Or maybe he's really astute and he chose the right person and he's got something up his sleeve. Like he knows he's going to turn. Like he chose Juliet's shadow on purpose. So he knows that that guy is going to get caught and go into the rebel group, and he has some plan later to get the information.
I would not put it past Knox because he got to the head of mechanical somehow, right?
Yeah.
He's no slouch.
And he's got social skills. He knows how to read stuff.
Yep. Savvy.
Story about the tape was a lie. I know that Walker switched the tape
You
because
don't
she
know
sent
shit, girl. You keep saying stuff like that, we'll all be sent to the mines. They got.
So Martha rolls in and is like, "You don't know shit, girl." Like, is she telling her to be quiet, or is she saying like, "Get your facts straight, like know stuff, don't just mouth off"?
Or is she saying stop entirely?
Right. Unclear to me.
Unclear.
eyes and ears everywhere.
How did you find us?
Yeah, so don't just mouth off because people are listening. Say it. Say when you know, and say deliberately when you know people aren't listening.
Or she could be saying there could be people listening anywhere, so speaking about this at all could get you killed. So don't say it. Just stop thinking it entirely.
Yeah, which one is it?
I followed this mastermind. None of you are cut out for this kind of thing.
Like, she could be saying, get your security together. Like, this was a bad op right here, bad meeting.
She could also be saying, you don't have the personalities. Some people have it, some people don't. You're going to get yourself killed.
Which is it?
You're no good at it. So quit talking about the tape and Juliet and all. It's hazardous for your health.
Are you with us?
She could be saying, like, I'm going to try to shut you down, and I want you to rebel against it. And if you got the right stuff, you'll push back at me. But if you don't have the right stuff, you'll just capitulate.
You're going to die.
What are you aiming to do?
Find people like us. People who think like us. Who know they're being lied to and want to know the truth.
When there's enough of you, what then?
We demand answers.
Yeah, you won't get answers.
So that's like, what do you want to do? What's your mission statement? It's get the truth, demand answers. Like, it's not a good mission statement. Also, you're expecting the truth from the uppers, a bunch of scheming liars. Like, not going to happen, right?
So is Walker walking Shirley to the end answer of there's no hope? What are you doing? Don't try.
Right. It's actually really unclear which one it is.
Then we fight.
They're ready for that. You've seen all the raiders and deputies out there. They're just waiting for one of you to make the first move. They've got all the weapons.
Well, maybe some of the raiders and deputies will decide they want to know the truth too.
A little while ago, I heard on the radio there's some new graffiti growing up all over the silo. JL. Juliet lives.
So that conversation, that was interesting. So she's like, you can't do it because they have the weapons, they have the manpower. Like, do you know what you're up against, or are you just swinging from the hip, shooting from the hip? Like, is that helping, or is she?
Was she telling them? So is she telling them their problems, their failures, their weak points, to say you're too weak, you're too much of a failure, don't do this at all, or is she pointing it out in kind of the old, wiser person way, where they don't tell you they're like this is wrong, this is wrong. They guide you to figure out what's wrong on your own. And then you really understand it and you really fix it.
Right. Which one is it?
Good, because I think it's true. I think she's alive. What do you think, Walk?
Oh, with all of you guys dedicated to finding out the truth, yeah, she's alive.
That's non-committal. She doesn't say yes. She says, well, you guys all think it, then okay.
She could be saying, like, prove to me that you've got the metal to go find out the truth. Actually, because Martha knows the truth already that the tape has been switched. She never revealed that to the rebels here.
But she also doesn't know if Juliet's still alive. She also saw Juliet go over the hill. That's it.
She might surmise that because she switched the tape, that Juliet has survived a lot longer, so the chances that she's alive are higher than people think. But she does not know. So they need to find out. Now, is Martha guiding them to say, like, go find out. Stop just mouthing off. Stop saying you know things you don't know, and go no.
Right. I don't know. She could be telling them to build their rebellion quietly, stealthily, and then explode, as opposed to I'm loud, I'm angry, and then you get stamped out. Your rebellion's done.
Right. So which one is it? I think I'm really curious to find out what side is Martha on. Is she like she was part of a rebellion back in the day, and then she got beaten down, and she's like, never again with the rebellion. Or was she part of a rebellion that got beaten down? She's like, I learned all these lessons.
I learned some lessons.
And for the next uprising, I'm going to guide the youngins forward.
Guide them forward like my puppets.
Well, my puppets. I want to be mayor.
She is the mayor.
What?
I mean, she would be the mayor of IT, I guess, really, because that's her specialty. She's more of a technical person.
Was she? I actually don't know her backstory. Was she? I thought she was down deep, so she'd be like in Nox's
she's down
position.
Deep. She's down deep, but she likes mechanical stuff. But there's only a limit to how much power you can get into down deep. If she has aspirations to rule the entire silo, this might be her chance.
This might be her chance.
There it is.
We'll find out. We will find out.
And then towards the end of the episode, there's a conversation between Mary and Bernard, where Mary says she wants her freedom.
I'll help you, Bernard.
I'll give you whatever you ask.
Then get me some of the good tape.
Why?
I want my freedom.
Nice.
I want to go out.
Did you feel that conversation was surprisingly intimate, like little too intimate, right?
Yeah, I got a little bit of a feeling that they got something going on.
Too close. There's a whole room. Back up. What are you doing?
Well, I mean, it's like they've been in a relationship before. Maybe.
Some stuff. Yeah, who knows? Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. So this was interesting because so Mary quit drinking and she's like, this life sucks. I want to get outside. And so I think this is actually a very good situation for Bernard because Mary had stopped drinking, she's becoming harder to control. And so now this is an easy opportunity for her to leave the silo, and then Bernard can replace her with someone that he can control. Right.
Because Mary is a very powerful person in the silo. Yep. In fact, she is the biggest threat to Bernard.
In fact, he could use her to lead the expedition outside the silo, and then he gets all the followers that are like, yeah, Juliet lives, and he sends them outside, sabotage, they die.
Right. And he doesn't have to rush it either. He can be like, this is the thing, we're gonna plan this expedition to go outside. It could take months. During that time, there's no rebellion. He's just solidifying power while planning this expedition so it can be just right. So when Mary and her followers go out and their sabotage suits or tape or whatever, they die, he can then transition to like, see, we need to turn inward again. And he's fully solidified in power. I could see that.
He could could lean into this and make it a good thing. As probably the worst thing he could do is to sneak her out. You sneak her out and then she disappears and people are like, where's the mayor? What is this?
Yeah. You mean where's what's her name? What's her title? The judge?
Sorry. Yeah. She's Mary, head of judicial.
Head of judicial.
Is that the mayor? No. He's the mayor. He's
the mayor.
I think he's got the thing on. Okay, head of judicial. Where's the head of judicial? What is going on here? Like, whereas don't sneak her out.
Making her wants public is a risk, but he could pivot that into something. We'll see.
Exactly.
I mean, he's astute, but he is paranoid. Yeah. So he has some.
He's not thinking right now. He's a high tension.
Yeah. Sims is also jealous because Bernard didn't pick Sims as his shadow.
Mm-hmm.
So there's an angle that he maybe isn't thinking about. We'll see how this goes.
See what happens next time.
Yeah. Next time. So that was season 2, episode 2. We'll be doing season 2, episode 3 coming up. See you guys next time.